Okay, we're going to talk about the next type of problem. Where is my sketchbook? There it is. And this is, where's my pen? There it is. Referred to as producer surplus with just one S. And producer surplus means, if you think about what the words mean, too many producers. It means supply, oops, is really, really high. And what's that going to do to the price? It's going to drive the price down. Now let's, where's my little thing? Draw a graph so we can look at the picture of it. Oops, off. So here's my, which one is this? The demand curve. And here is my supply curve. And the supply is G of X. Oops. Okay, and this point is the equilibrium price. This is what the supply and demand curve says it should be sold at. This axis is price, and this, oops, what was that? There we go. And this axis is units. So this point has the coordinates price, equilibrium price, and equilibrium units, how many you're going to sell at that price. And it's determined by the supply and demand curves. So if I go to calculate, let's see, the total revenue I would expect from selling this many units is the area of this box. So the revenue is going to be the price times the number of units. But then there's some people, some producers are willing, I need another color, are willing to sell stuff at a lower price because they got lots of stuff and they got to get rid of it. And so this area here, the area above the green curve, represents, this is the producer surplus. It's the amount of money you're going to make by selling things at a lower price. So, oops, a lower price down here, right? Instead of selling them at this price, we're willing to sell them down here or down here or down here. And you're going to make some money, not as much as if you sold them here, but you're still going to bring in some revenue. And you still want to account for that revenue in your revenue stream. And so what our task here is to figure out, how do we find the area of this shape, the pink shape? And if you think about it, it'll be the rectangle minus the stuff down here will leave the stuff up there, right? The rectangle minus the stuff under the curve will leave us the stuff above the curve. So I'm going to do that. The rectangle I know, so the producer surplus is going to be the area of the rectangle minus the area underneath the curve. And the way we calculate the area underneath that curve, and that curve is G of X, and we're going to integrate from 0 to x1. And this thing here, let's get a fun color. orange. There we go. Nice. Okay. This is going to be our equation for producer surplus. Notice it's kind of flipped around from consumer surplus, and instead of using f of x, it uses g of x. Oops. Okay. Oh, I guess I can't do that. Okay, so now let's go to solving a problem with this information. Okay, so first let's get Back to Black. Isn't that an AC/DC song, Back to Black? Something like that. Okay, producer surplus. Oops, sorry, turn that off. Producer surplus is equilibrium price times equilibrium units minus the integral from 0 to x1 of the supply function. Okay. So let's look here at example 7. I wonder if I can move this. Oh, I can. Look at that. I don't really know how to use that, but okay. So this says that the equilibrium price for a product is equal to $20. And we're told that the supply function is x squared plus x. Okay? So we're going to take the 20 and put it here and solve for x. And what we're going to find is we'll solve for this x1. Oops, I kind of messed. This guy. Okay, so I'll move that to the other side. X squared plus x minus 20. So I think that's going to be x plus 5, x minus 4. So x equals -5 and 4, and we're not going to make -5 units, so we're going to use 4. And now we'll calculate the producer surplus. So it'll be the equilibrium price times the number of units we're selling at equilibrium minus the integral from 0 to 4 of g of x, x squared plus x dx. And this is an x to the n kind of integral. So this is x cubed over 3 plus x squared over 2 evaluated from 0 to 4. Let's go up here. So producer surplus is 80 minus, so I'll put in the top limit, 4 cubed over 3 plus 4 squared over 2 minus 0 cubed over 3 plus 0 squared over 2. So this is 4 times 4 is 16 times 4 is 64 divided by looks like I got the wrong answer, but you'll have, well, so I don't know what that is. Let's get our calculator out. Oops. So 4 times 4 times 4 divided by 3 equals, so this is 21.33 minus 16 over 2 is 8. This is all 0, right? Okay, so 21.33 minus 8 equals 13.33. 80 minus that. This comes out to be 66.67. And it says in the thing that this is, everything is in millions. So I don't know what they're selling for $20 million. So that's how much they sell at that rate. And they sell maybe 4 million units. I'm not really sure. But anyways, here is our producer surplus revenue that we're going to make from selling things in that upper half of that triangle, upper half of that curve. Remember, the curve looks like this. I draw my dotted line. And this number represents the area here. That represents that amount. The area is equal to this amount of money using our demand and supply curves. Okay? Boom. Is there another example problem we can do? Let's see. Nope, looks like it goes to the homework. So these are all relatively straightforward. I recommend you have the equation out there in front of you and have these example problems out for you to see, because these are all relatively straightforward plug and chug kind of things. So give them a try and let me know if you need any help, and have fun. Bye.